Okay. So, as I mentioned earlier, guiding human behavior, decision making, and professional behavior is much aided by ethical concerns. No? Because the philosophical study of morality, ethics, helps one to ascertain what is right and wrong in different situations. So ethical issues guarantee that people and companies behave in ways consistent with moral values of justice, integrity, and obligation. So ethical issues support trust, responsibility, and respect of human rights, whether in research, in business, in healthcare, especially in education. So ignoring these factors could cause moral conundrums, disputes, and maybe damage to people or society. Respect of autonomy is a basic ethical issue that underlines people's rights to make wise decisions about their own life. For instance, patient, as I mentioned in medical ethics, have to give informed permission before having any operation or treatment. In academic research, too, individuals have to freely consent to take part in investigations after knowing possible hazards and rewards. So this idea guarantees that people keep autonomy over choices influencing their welfare and helps to avoid coercion. Beneficence, which emphasizes on enhancing the well-being of others and thereby minimizing damage, is another critical ethical issues. Ano po? Professional in social sciences, education, healthcare, and social media, especially have to give activities that help people and communities top priority. No, doctor must, let's say, for example, prescribe therapies that advance patients' health instead of only acting in institutional or financial interest. No? Businesses have to make sure their goods and services either benefit society or do not endanger customers. Closely allied to beneficence, is the non-maleficence principle, sometimes known as do not harm. Making ethical decisions calls for people to refrain from acting that might injure others physical, emotional, or socially. No? And this issue affects several disciplines, including journalism, where reporters have to make sure that their coverage does not expose people or disseminate false information. Di po ba? Uh, Developers of technology and artificial intelligence, have to avoid ethical hazards include prejudice, data leaks, and privacy invasions that might harm consumers. It must follow the Data Privacy Act of 2012. No? Another important ethical issue in justice, which calls both equally in fairness in decision making, because ethical justice guarantees equitable treatment, resources, and chances free from prejudice for individuals. In research ethics, for instance, volunteers should be chosen properly and advantages of investigation should be shared evenly across population. Justice in law and government requires that rules and policies be followed consistently to every person, regardless of their color, their sex, or socio-economic level. Again, transparency and honesty are further ethical issues. In business environments, honestly guarantees accurate communication of information, therefore deterring fraud and dishonesty. Data fabrication and plagiarism are major ethical transgression in scientific research that compromise credibility and confidence. In business and government, openness encourages responsibility by enabling stakeholders to make wise decision grounded on correct and whole knowledge. Ethical leaders guarantee that rules and decisions are honestly and clearly expressed, therefore promoting an open culture. Dear student, confidentiality is another very important ethical concept since it safeguards people's private and delicate knowledge. Now, patient confidentiality is basic in healthcare, hence medical records are not revealed without permission. Now, participants' personal data in research in education has to be safeguarded to stop exploitation or misuse. Within or when public interest clashes with secrecy, ethical conundrums usually result and demands careful thought on when and how knowledge should be shared ethically. Ethical obligation covers more general society issues than only personal behavior. Business must adopt ethical corporate social responsibility practices, ensuring fair labor conditions, environmentally sustainability, and ethical sourcing of materials. Government must implement ethical policies that uphold human rights, social justice, and public welfare. Because ethical leadership in all sectors foster a culture of responsibility, ensuring that ethical considerations are prioritized, no, in decision-making processes. Now, how about a while ago, no? Ethical considerations in ethics. And what is ethical review in research? Because a while ago, our presenter discussed about institutional review board, and we have, of course, ethical review board. I just want to clarify this one. An ethical review board, also known as institutional review board or ethics review board or ethics review committee, is a body responsible for evaluating and approving research studies to ensure ethical standards are upheld. So the primary role of an ERB or ethical review board is to protect the rights, dignity, safety, and well-being of research participants, particularly in studies involving human subjects. Take note of it. It ensures that research adheres to ethical guidelines such as obtaining informed consent. So therefore, during your survey questionnaire, you need to provide informed consent, ensuring that our participants' confidentiality, minimizing harm, and maintaining fairness and study procedure. So ethical review board exists in academic institution, hospital, government agency, and private organization to oversee research activities in compliance with ethical and legal standards. One of the key functions of an ERB is to review research proposal before studies commence. It means to say before we distribute our survey questionnaire, we need to ask approval from the ethical review board. So the board evaluates research methodologies, ensuring that the study design minimizes risk and maximizes potential benefits for participants. It also examines whether researchers have obtained proper consent from participants and whether vulnerable populations such as children or individuals with disabilities are adequately protected. Take note of it. Now, without ethical review board approval, researchers cannot proceed with their studies, particularly in sensitive areas such as medical trials, psychological research, and social studies involving personal or confidential information. Another important function of ethical review board is to monitor ongoing research to ensure compliance with ethical standards. So even after approval, researchers must submit progress reports and inform the ethical review board of any changes in study procedures or unexpected risk. If a study is found to be violating ethical principle or causing harm to participants, the ethical review board has the authority to suspend or terminate the research. Take note of it. At this time, I think the UCC is still establishing their ethical review board. Okay? So, looking forward that during your thesis, no, available na or may existing ethical review board department na ang UCC. So, the oversight mechanism ensures that ethical breaches are prevented and that research remains aligned with ethical principles throughout its duration. Now, the importance of an ERB research cannot be overstated because it helps maintain public trust in scientific and academic research by ensuring that studies are conducted responsibly. Without ethical oversight, there is a risk of exploitation, coercion, and harm to participants. In the past, unethical research studies such as those involving human experimentation without consent have led to severe consequences. Ethical review boards serve as a safeguard against such abuses, reinforcing ethical integrity in the research community. In the Philippines, ethical review boards are widely established across institutional conducting research involving human participants. I don't know if you are familiar with the Philippine Health Research Ethics Board or the PHREB under the Department of Science and Technology. Oversees the accreditation of Research Ethics Committee nationwide. Many universities, hospitals, and research institutions have their own ethical review boards, such as the University of the Philippines Manila Research Ethics Board and Ateneo Research Ethics Committee, and others. And these boards ensure that research conducted in the country aligns with national and international ethical guidelines, such as those by the National Ethical Guidelines for Health and Health-Related Research. So several considerations must be addressed when seeking ethical review board approval in the Philippines. No? Researchers must prepare a comprehensive research protocol detailing the study objectives, your methodology, your ethical consideration, and potential risk to participants. Again, the informed consent process must be carefully structured to ensure participants understand the study's nature, potential risk, and the right to withdraw at any time. Additionally, research involving indigenous communities, minors, or individuals with limited capacity requires additional ethical safeguards to protect these vulnerable groups. Take note of it. No? So, an ethical review board plays a vital role in ensuring that research is conducted ethically and responsibly through reviewing, approving, and monitoring studies. Ethical review boards protect research participants from harm and uphold the integrity of scientific inquiry. So in our country, ethical review board operate under national ethical guidelines and accreditation system to ensure compliance with ethical and legal standards. So researchers must consider ethical principles, obtain informed consent, and safeguard participant welfare when conducting studies, making ERB as essential part of the research landscape. Now, Doc, how do we differentiate the institutional review board and ethical review board in the Philippines? I just want to, because actually, I love research, no? So, previously, for 1 year, I will be the ethical review board, no, of one institution, no? So, in our country, no, both the institutional review board and the ethical board serve critical roles in research ethics, ensuring that studies involving human participants uphold ethical principles, participant welfare, and legal compliance. While these terms are sometimes used interchangeably, there are key differences actually in their scope, structure, and regulatory oversight. Let's say, for example, Institutional Review Board is a review committee established within a specific institution. Our presenter a while ago provide us an example like University of Perpetual. So, such as the university, hospital, and research center. It primarily reviews research proposal conducted within the institution, within the school, within the university, within the college, to ensure that the studies comply with ethical guidelines and institutional policies. So the Institutional Review Board evaluates protocol, involving human subjects focusing on risk minimization, informed consent, and participant protection. Before I forgot, yung informed consent sa ating thesis, hindi lang basta magawa po yun. Ano po? So dapat you crafted your informed consent wholeheartedly and legally. No? How about, a while ago, I discussed about ethical review, institutional review board. Okay, how about the ethical review board? I already give some insights discussion about this, but an ethical review board is a broader, kung yun pong IRB is a committee established in a specific institution, ang ARB is a broader ethical review committee that may be independent or affiliated with regulatory agency, university, or research consortium. Katulad po ng UST, no? Nakaano po sila sa DOST na ano, kayong Philippine Health Research, yung sa PHREB. No? So, ERBs generally follow national or international ethical guidelines, as I mentioned earlier, such as those set by the Philippine Health Research and Ethics Board under the Department of Science and Technology. They oversee research ethics at a national or institutional level, ensuring compliance with human rights, justice, and ethical principles. How about when it comes, sir? How about when it comes to regulatory oversight? Anong kaibahan ngayon ni IRB kay ERB? For regulatory oversight, IRB or Institutional Research Review Board, the functions within an institution and follows its internal policies while also adhering to national and international ethical standards. So the Institutional Review Board ensures that research within its institution complies with local research ethics policies and the national ethical guidelines for health and health-related research. On the other hand, Ethical Review Board functions at a broader level, as I mentioned, open with government accreditation and regulations. In the Philippines, the Philippine Health Research Ethics Board accredits ERB to ensure national compliance with ethical research standards. So, Ethical Review Board ensures research meets international ethical principles such as the Declaration of Helsinki and the Belmont Report. How about when it comes to review authority and approvals? Siyempre, paano po? Paano ba kaibahan ng IRB? At sa IRB pagdating sa review authority and approvals. IRB has limited jurisdiction dahil alam natin na it only reviews research within its institution. If a study is conducted at multiple institutions, separate IRB approvals may be required. Kasi sa Pilipinas, also yung collaboration from one institution to another institution. Ay pwede po ba na dahil meron kami sa school, kami na, as much as possible, kapag multiple institution po nag-collaborate, dapat wala sa kanila ang mag-accredit or mag-approve. No? It must be a separate institutional review board. Approvals may be required. So the IRB reviews institution-specific concerns such as faculty research, student thesis, and hospital-based clinical trials. Ang ERB naman can review multi-institutional research. So ibig sabihin, instead na doon sa IRB, sa ERB nyo dalahin. Okay? Because again, the ERB can review multi-institutional research or studies that have a national or large-scale impact. No? It is particularly relevant for government-funded, high-risk, or multi-site studies. And some ERBs functions independently to review research outside institutional setting. Now, how about the membership and composition? Diba? Paano po ba mag-craft ng aming IRB? Paano po ba sa ERB? No? Wait lang. Okay. Again, as I mentioned, membership for IRB, typically composed of institutional representative, faculty members, clinicians, at as much as possible, legal expert. Hanggat maaari, dapat may lawyer. No? Members are familiar with the institution research landscape, ensuring adherence to its policies and ethical guidelines. For ERB, has a more diverse and independent membership, including bioethicists, medical professionals, legal expert, community representative, and government official. And these diverse compositions ensure a broader ethical perspective in research oversight. So how about the scope of research evaluation? Sa scope naman, IRB, review research involving human participants, medical studies, psychological experiment, and social science research conducted within each institution. ERB naman po, review research with wider ethical concerns such as multi-institutional studies, sensitive medical research, example, clinical trials of new drugs, no? Or research involving vulnerable population katulad ng indigenous communities. Kapag yun yung target clients, no, children or person with abilities, ayan, kailangan po dumaan po yan sa ating ethical review board. Accreditation and compliance. IRB in the Philippines must be registered with PHREB if they wish to conduct ethical reviews that meet national standards. ERB are accredited by PHREB to ensure that they comply with national ethical guidelines, ensuring that research ethics boards follow global best practices. Okay? So, through both the Institutional Review Board and Ethical Review Board place essential rules in research ethics in our country. The scope and authority differ. Again, IRB operates within the institution to oversee research conducted internally, ensuring compliance with ethical policies. On the other hand, the IRB functions at a broader level, reviewing research that involves multiple institutions, no, or significant ethical considerations. But board contributes to protecting research participants, ensuring ethical compliance, and maintaining research integrity in the Philippines. Now, ano nga ba ang process of accreditation of Ethical Review Board in our country? The accreditation of Ethical Review Board in the Philippines is regulated again by the Philippine Health Research Ethics Board, or PHREB, under the Department of Science and Technology, Philippine Council for Health Research and Development. PHERB is responsible for ensuring that all ERBs in the country complies with national and international ethical standards in research involving human participants. Accreditation ensures that an ERB operates efficiently, ethically, and independently. So the process of accreditation follows structured steps from application to evaluation and final approval. Una muna, anong kailangan? Pre-accreditation requirements. Before applying for accreditation, an ethical review board must fulfill the following requirements. Number one, it must be affiliated with a research institution, university, hospital, or government agency that conducts research involving human participants. Must have formal structure with clear operating policies and standard operating procedures. Must be functioning for at least 1 year na existing and have reviewed actual research proposals. Must have diverse membership. May medical professional, may legal expert, may ethicist, and community representatives. Must comply with national ethical guidelines for health and health-related research. Ay paano, Doc, ang application submission? The Ethical Review Board submit a formal application to PHREB with the following documents. Number one, o yung mga gusto magtayo na research sa inyong institution. Number one, letter of intent addressed to the PHERB, a PHREB Secretariat. Sunod doon, sa documents, institutional profile, detailing the organization's research activities. Then, list of ERB members and their qualification, including training in research ethics. Hindi ka pwede maging member kapag wala kang training related sa research ethics. Afterwards, kailangan ng standard operating procedures for research review and ethical oversight. Next, minutes of ARB meetings and sample review decisions from the past year. Kaya dapat may isang taon na, dapat nakapag-review na. Another is proof of compliance with national and international ethical standards. Then, evidence of institutional support ensuring the ARB independence and sustainability. Paano ang gagawin ngayon ni PHREB for as initial screening? The PHREB Secretariat screens the submitted documents to check completeness. If any documents are missing, PHREB requests additional information before proceeding to the next stage. Pagkatapos po niya to compliance na, sunod on-site evaluation or the assessment visit. So again, once the initial screening is passed, PHREB conducts an on-site assessment of the ethical review board. Okay, so which includes yung review of ERB operations to ensure adherence of ethical guidelines, interview with ERB members to assess their knowledge and competence in ethical research review, evaluation of case study to determine how the ERB handles ethical dilemmas in research, and inspection of facilities and resources used for ethical research process. Hey Doc, yung mga ALCOCOA, PACOCOA, PQA, PAASCO, PAACO, mayroon po sila mga level 1, 2, 3, 4. How about the PHREB? So, di ba po nag-visit, nag-on-site visit. After the evaluation, PHREB provides a detailed report with findings and recommendations. So, the ERB is categorized based on its compliance level. Kapag katapos ng visit at kayo po, ang inyong institution ay nabigyan ng level 1 accreditation, ibig sabihin, you can review minimal risk research. Yung inyong, sabihin, pwede kayo mag-issue, pwede kayo mag-review, let's say, may gawa yung estudyante, medyo minimal lang yung risk research, pwede nyong i-review. Okay? Kapag level 2 accreditation na nabigay sa inyo, you can review research with moderate risk, including clinical trials na. Pero pag nabigyan kayo ng level 3 accreditation, you can review high risk and multi-institutional research, including phase 3 and 4 clinical trials. If an ERB does not meet requirements, PHERB may provide a conditional approval with a deadline for compliance. Halimbawa, pag visit, may kulang pa kayo, bibigyan kayo ng chance na mag-submit ng mga requirements na kulang. So, ang ibibigay sa inyo ay conditional approval. So, ibig sabihin, may level 1, level 2, level 3 ang accreditation ng PHERB. Okay? So, issuance of accreditation. Halimbawa naman, ay Doc, na-approve na kami. If an ERB meets PHREB standards, an accreditation certificate is issued. The certificate is valid for 3 years, after which the ERB must undergo re-accreditation. So after 3 years, i-revisit kayo para re-accredit. Pero, ang PHERB po ay mayroong continuous monitoring and re-accreditation as I mentioned. So accredited ERBs must submit annual reports. Parang ano lang, no? Kailangan mag-submit ng annual GIS and audited financial statement. Ganun din po sa PHERB. Kailangan mag-submit ng annual reports to PHERB on their activities and compliance status. Any major changes in ERB operations such as membership or SOP modifications must be reported. Kulang pala yung standard operating procedure namin, mag-update kami. Same din sa SEC. Diba? Kapag meron kang, okay, baguhin namin yung bylaws, so kailangan namin magpa-approve ulit. Okay? So after 3 years, the ERB undergoes re-evaluation and re-accreditation to ensure continued adherence to ethical standards. No? Importance of ERB. Ano ba kahalagahan ba kasi niyan, Doc? Bakit may ERB accreditation pa? Siyempre, number 1, ensures ethical research practices to protect the participants in research studies by ensuring ethical oversight. Compliance with national and international guidelines aligns Philippine research ethics with global standards, enhances public trust in research, provides assurance that studies conducted in the Philippines are ethically sound, And number 4, allows participation in international research. Accredited ERBs can collaborate with global research institutions and pharmaceutical companies, no? And to prevent research misconduct, no? To ensure that studies meet ethical standards, avoiding harm, exploration, or rights violation. So, to cut in short, the PHERB accreditation process ensures that ethical review boards in the Philippines functions according to ethical, scientific, and legal standards. So the process involves pre-qualification, application submission, site assessment, accreditation decision, and continuous monitoring. So I believe, no, through adhering to this process, ethical review boards contribute to maintaining ethical integrity in research, safeguarding human participants, and strengthening the research landscape, no, in our country. Okay? So again, yun po yung process. Let's say, for example, kung mayroon na sa academe dito, member kayo ng research committee or kayo po ang mismo research director, so ipopost ko naman to sa FB, sa YouTube. Pwede nyo panoorin kung paano mag-establish, sa magsasubmit. Ang DOST po, nasa may bikutan yung pinaka-main. Ano po, pagka gusto nyo ipa-accredit ang inyong institutional review board. Eh, Doc, pwede bang kami ay, let's say, UCC, instead na institutional review board, gusto kong tawagin ethical review board, pwede rin naman po. Okay? Paano, Doc? Marami kaming sangay. Let's say, may focus sa education, may focus sa allied health, may focus sa criminology. Pwede bang may sari-sariling ethical review board? Better, suggestion ko po, ethical review board ng isang school, university colleges, then may mga committee, ethical research committee na lang. Let's say, isang focus sa allied health, isang focus sa humanities, isang focus sa social science humanities, magkasama na yon. Business, IT, and HRM, pwedeng ganon. Pero ethical research committee na under siya ng isang ethical review board ng inyong institution. Pero kung maliit pa lang naman, isang ethical review board, hawak na niya lahat. Pero kung masyadong malaki na po yung universities, better na mayroong mga ethical research committee per department, per field of specialization. Okay? So I think that's it. Thank you so much. I hope you've learned something from my discussion. And of course, congratulations to our presenter. Okay?